Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us at Enactus Ken, Aspiring Lawyers PNG's first webinar today. Today, we'll be giving you an insight into Enactus Ken's newest project organization member, Aspiring Lawyers PNG. We are excited to have you all here today with us. And without further ado, let's start the webinar. And so I will start by telling a bit about myself. So my name is Fransiskus Soyo, and I am the president of Enactus Ken. I'm from Indonesia, however, I grew up in Oman and in Germany. Now I am in the UK studying law, and I'm in my penultimate year at the Ken Law School. And now we have Alia.
Hi all, my name is Alia Al-Hazmi. I'm the Vice President of Enactus Ken. I'm from the United Arab Emirates, and I'm currently in my final year studying law with quantitative research at the Ken Law School.
So Enactus Ken is a university. So you might be wondering what Enactus Ken is. And so Enactus Ken is a university organization that's part of a global organization that strives to push social change and social problems to solve them through entrepreneurial action. And as you can see, Enactus stands for Entrepreneurial Action and Us. Enactus is a big organization that annually has 72,000 participating students. Its teams come from 37 countries, impacting 115 countries. And with 3,800 projects worldwide, we impact 1,300,000 lives. And it'd be good to note that Enactus Ken is actually the first Enactus chapter to be in Papua New Guinea. And so we are the first, and that's amazing. And so you might wonder what the entrepreneurial aspect means. Well, the best project/organization under Enactus teams should be able to be self-sufficient, meaning it can financially provide for itself, which is done through entrepreneurial action. All revenue is reinvested into the organization, continuing its progress, its effectiveness. So as the Enactus project, ALPNG needs to figure out an entrepreneurial action. Their entrepreneurial actions will be further explained later on in the webinar. Next, we'll be introducing the Aspiring Lawyers PNG team and the speakers for this webinar. Laura?
Hi everyone, my name is Laura Rehlis and I'm the founder and the executive director of Aspiring Lawyers PNG. And I come from Poland and I'm a penultimate law student at the University of Kent. In this project, I'm really keen to understand more about the legal challenges that Papua New Guinea faces, and I'm very excited to make a big difference with my wonderful team. I'll pass on the mic to Elishebba.
Good night, everyone. I'm so happy that you could all join us here tonight. So my name is Elishebba Ramoi-Alloy, for those of you who do not know me, and I'm the Operations Director of Aspiring Lawyers PNG. So I come from the East and West Sepik provinces in Papua New Guinea, and I'm a third-year law student at the University of Papua New Guinea. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bernietha, Shalom, Wagun, and I come from the East Sepik province in Papua New Guinea. I'm a third-year law student here at the University of Papua New Guinea, and I currently serve as the Marketing Director for Aspiring Lawyers Papua New Guinea. My studies in law so far, it's been quite the journey, and I'm very passionate about helping my fellow law students. And so I'm quite excited to be a part of this amazing initiative, and I'm keen to do a lot of good work with my fellow colleagues. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Levana Vaname, or Rachael, as some of you may know me, and I'm the brand ambassador for ALPNG here in Australia. I come from Central Province in PNG, and I'm a final year Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Arts student here at James Cook University in Townsville. I'm keen to learn more about the legal system in PNG and to help develop valuable connections for everyone involved. I'm also excited to help out such an amazing team. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is jubilee Narokobi. I come from the Pacific province of Papua New Guinea. I'm a third-year law student at the University of Papua New Guinea, and I currently serve as the treasurer of Aspiring Lawyers PNG. As a law student here in PNG, there are certain challenges my peers and I face. As such, I'm keen to be a part of this amazing initiative and to work alongside a great team to assist my fellow PNG law students abroad and in the country, the legal fraternity, and Papua New Guinea as a whole. Thank you.
All right.
Yes. Hello, my name is M.S.Wagambie. I'm a private lawyer and lecturer at law at University of Papua New Guinea. I was admitted to practice law in the year 2000, and I've practiced law since 2000 up until 2020. I'm currently a lecturer at law at university, and I'm really excited to be engaged with aspiring lawyers of Papua New Guinea, because that's my passion, to try to go and develop young Papua New Guineans to become good quality lawyers in Papua New Guinea. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Wagambie. We're very happy to have you here as a special guest. And now I'd like to provide you with a presentation outline for what you should expect in this presentation today. So first of all, we're going to discuss the challenges to Papua New Guinea's legal industry. Second thing we'd like to discuss is how aspiring lawyers can help, and we'd like you to get to know us better. The third thing we'll discuss is our entrepreneurial actions that we will use in order to fund the project. Fourth thing we'll discuss is the recruitment process for both university students from PNG and for university students at Kent if they want to help us with the project. And the last thing, we're going to have a cute question and answer session. So if you have any questions, write them down. You can ask us at the end, and we'll be very happy to answer any of your inquiries that you might have.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll move on to Elishebba to discuss the legal challenges, as well as Mr. Wagambie to discuss legal challenges that they faced in Papua New Guinea.
Good night, everyone, and welcome once again to our webinar. So I would like to start off by providing a short introduction into Papua New Guinea and its legal system for those of you who are joining us from overseas. So to begin, the independent state of Papua New Guinea comprises the eastern half of the large island of New Guinea and a number of small island provinces extending from the nearby Bismarck Archipelago east to Bougainville. Now, there are 22 provinces in PNG and a diverse population that embraces dozens of different ethnic groups. Now, the official languages are Tok Pisin, English, and Hirimotu. And there are about 839 indigenous spoken languages. As for our legal system, Papua New Guinea is a member of the Commonwealth, and as a former colony of Britain and Australia, PNG has adopted the common law system. Now, Papua New Guinea has a mixed legal system of both common law and of customary law. Now, our sources of law are firstly the written law as stipulated under Section 9 of the Constitution, the common law as stipulated under Section 3, subsection 1 of the Underlying Law Act 2000, and customary law as stipulated under Section 3, subsection 1 of the Underlying Law Act 2000. However, for more information about Papua New Guinea's legal system, this can be accessed on forums such as PACLI or the Pacific Islands Legal Information Institute, which is available online. Now, moving on, I would now like to take this time to recount some of the challenges that I faced as a law student studying at UPNG. Now, there is only one law school in the entire country, and that is at the University of Papua New Guinea. Here, the students can either opt to do their diploma in law prosecutions or their Bachelor of Laws LLB. Now, the law school has produced some great legal minds and outstanding lawyers in this nation. However, as with any institution, there are bound to be some challenges that people face every now and then. Now, the first challenge that I encountered was that there wasn't anyone or any system in place to help us when we were in first year to adapt to the learning environment at UPNG or understand the concepts that were being taught. For myself, prior to studying law at UPNG, I had no previous experience reading legal documents or instruments. Now, the language that is used in preparing such documents and instruments, it's written at such a high level that it took me several attempts to even understand a section of the Constitution. Now, this made the learning process a bit more difficult in first year. However, there is now an established mentorship committee that is coordinated by the LSS to assist law students. Now, moving on, another challenge that I've encountered is that some of the course materials that we use are outdated. However, some lecturers do their best to provide content on their own from their own sources. Now, the law school library is quite outdated and textbooks are quite expensive to purchase at the bookstore unless students are on government scholarships. Now, I've made it through to third year relying a lot on electronic material, such as lecture notes, textbooks, and study guides that I've gotten from students before me. Furthermore, another challenge is that there is a large number of students with limited teaching staff. Now, as most of you who are on this webinar know, the usual intake for school leavers into the School of Law is about 50 to 60 students out of the 20,000 plus grade 12 students who could have selected to do law after finishing grade 12. Now, upon hearing this, one would assume that to get into law school is a competitive process. However, this isn't necessarily the case. Although there are 50 to 60 students who are selected after grade 12, many more come into first year either by appeal or as non-school leavers. Now, when I was doing my first year, we had over like 300 students, and this number decreased as we moved on in our studies. But still, even at third year, our class could have up to 150 to 200 students, and this places a strain on lecturers and tutors, considering that UPNG Law School only has a limited number of teaching staff. Now, there's also much talk amongst the legal fraternity that the standard of lawyers coming out of UPNG and LTI are not what it once was. One of the reasons, in my opinion, could be linked to the lack of internship or work experience opportunities that are made available or made aware to the students. Now, for me personally, I've been fortunate enough to work with some organizations such as the Young Missionary Alliance and the Business Council of Papua New Guinea while studying. Now, being able to work while studying has broadened my understanding and my skill set. I've built up sustainable networks, and I've come to have a feel of the professional environment, especially through the various engagements that I participate in through these organizations. Unfortunately, this is not the reality of many of my other course mates. Some of them come from backgrounds with no previous work experience. Now, working at the Business Council of PNG, I've learned that businesses often spend 2 to 3 years training university graduates to perform their roles effectively and spend considerable amounts of money and time training graduates to adjust to the work environment. And this can often be a setback for companies and delay productivity. Now, these are just some of the challenges that I've encountered as a law student studying at UPNG, but I would now like to take the time to invite our guest speaker, Mr. Wagambie, to speak more on the challenges that he has faced as an actual practicing lawyer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elishebba. Good night, all. So, as a private practitioner, I have worked as a private practitioner for 20 years. And during the 20 years, I have seen a lot of challenges in private practicing. Now, first of all, I started with a firm of Blake, Doze, and Waldron lawyers. It's now called S. Lawyers. During the time that I worked with Blake, Doze, and Waldron lawyers, I went through a lot of training. Now, we had divisions within the firm. We had a litigation division, we had corporate and commercial, we had conveyancing, we had trademarks. So we were rotated within those various divisions within the firm. And those were part of the training that we had to go through. And I was also fortunate to be seconded to Westpac Bank for 6 months on job attachment on a retainer basis. So they were our client. And some of our other lawyers were fortunate to go overseas and get attached to firms overseas, like those Waldron lawyers overseas. We went through those kind of training to be able to develop us to be very good lawyers and quality lawyers, because the firm invested in us, wanted us to become such lawyers so that we can carry on the practice. So I worked there for 4 years. I learned the ropes. And after 4 years, I decided that I wanted to leave and do something for my people, Papua New Guineans, charge them at a fair rate, a rate that is affordable to them. So I had to get out and start my own practice in 2005. And then in 2005, I started as a sole practitioner. What are some of the challenges that I faced as a sole practitioner? Number one, I had to, when I went out with good corporate clients, because as a sole practitioner, as a young man starting a practice, you need to have sufficient funds. Funds for payroll, for salary, for operational costs, and some other overheads, for rentals, for your car, for the data, for internet costs, and stuff like that. So in order for you to keep going, unless you're a millionaire's son, or if you come from a very good background that you have a lot of money, you won't be able to sustain your operations. So when I went out with good corporate clients. They were able to support me. So I did work for them. I provided the service. They paid me the legal fees for that. And if I didn't do work, so when that happened, I had to work overtime. The challenges of working as a legal practitioner, sole practitioner, is that you'll have to work overtime. Means that there are due dates coming in, falling in. You have to attend court the next day. So for me personally, I had to sit up long hours. As a young man, but I grew gray hair very quickly because of that. I stayed overnight. Sometimes I stayed up until as late as 2 a.m. in the morning. And I missed my family. So I missed my family. So by the time I went home to go and have dinner and sleep, my family had already gone to bed. And when I woke up in the morning, my children had already gone to school. So this is some of the challenges. I miss my family. I miss my children. So these are some of the challenges that as a sole practitioner go through when you're running your own private practice in Papua New Guinea. In money terms and in terms where you have to put a lot of time and effort into it. You have to work extra hard, which means that sacrificing your time, sacrificing your family time, sacrificing your leisure time. Okay, so these are some of the things that I went through and I saw as challenges. And now that we're into this day and age of digitization, we need to have connectivity issues. And I thank Aspiring Lawyers PNG that with this connectivity issue, I had problems trying to get into Zoom. And I must congratulate myself and I must thank Aspiring Lawyers PNG for introducing me to Zoom, that I'm able to now use the Zoom to communicate and have a meeting with you guys and on webinar. So this is one of the challenges for those of us who run in private practice. Sole practitioners out there, those of us who didn't get used to the connectivity issue, the digital issue, digital world. So I'm now very fortunate to be connected to this. And thank you to Elishebba and the team of Aspiring Lawyers PNG. And thank you, Laura, for connecting me to this. I'm able to now get in there and connect with you guys. So by the time we have a lockdown again for COVID lockdown, I'm able to connect with my students through this through this digital app, so that I can have face-to-face lectures with my students. One of the other observations that I'd like to make as a private practitioner and looking from my own perspective, this is my own personal perspective, is that I've seen that quality of lawyers in Papua New Guinea have dropped. Why? Maybe because of the training that we could get at the University of Papua New Guinea. And one of the issues that was raised by Elishebba was about the lack of resources, outdated resources. The lecturers need to have connectivity. The lecturers need to be updated with certain skills, with the tools to be able to go and teach the young aspiring lawyers of Papua New Guinea. In order for us to see that, I see that in courtroom. I see the advocacy skills have dropped. I see the manner in which they write letters to and fro, not up to that level when I was as a law student and when I graduated and worked as a young lawyer. So what should I do? Sit down and complain? No. I decided that I'll have to go and help out to teach. So I can see Rachael Levana there. Yeah, she was one of the students at JCU, and I went to JCU to do my master's when she was an undergraduate student, and she's still there. So after graduating from James Cook University, I came back and I thought, well, how should I help my young Papua New Guineans? How should I help the young aspiring lawyers of Papua New Guinea? So I thought, well, what better way to do it than to sacrifice my time and go back and teach, to help to build up the confidence, to help to develop our young Papua New Guineans, to bring back the quality that I used to see in my days. Now I don't see it these days, so maybe rather than complaining, I should go back and to help to teach. So here I am in year 2019, second semester. I went and I started as a part-time lecturer, and this time around again, this first semester, I'm teaching now as temporary permanent lecturer, and I hope to become permanent soon, so that I can contribute towards developing young Papua New Guinean lawyers, young aspiring lawyers to be quality lawyers that can carry our industry forward and continue with that. So these are some of the challenges that I've faced and I'd like to share, and I've shared with you guys. And thank you for your attention, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much for that inspiring and very open account form from Mr. Wagambie. And now we have Laura, who will be introducing Aspiring Lawyers PNG.
Hi, so as previously mentioned, my name is Laura and I'm the founder of ALPNG. And today I would like to give a brief introduction about our organization. So I'm sure you have a lot of questions. You know, we're very new. We just started about a week ago. So first of all, I would just like to explain who we are and what the purpose of ALPNG is. All right, so Aspiring Lawyers Papua New Guinea is an organization run by students from the University of Papua New Guinea and the University of Kent, which is found in the UK. That's where I go to. And it is run under the Enactus organization in the UK. And our purpose is to increase the employability and productivity of future lawyers of Papua New Guinea. I'm sure you're also asking yourself why I started ALPNG. Yeah, I'll say that I was given the opportunity, like a great opportunity to work with Enactus Kent, and I could have chosen to do any project I wanted, but I chose ALPNG, and it was a very clear choice for me. And it was a clear choice for me because I used to live in Papua New Guinea in Port Moresby, and I used to go to St. Joseph with a lot of the people present at our webinar today. And yeah, living in Papua New Guinea, I was raised and, you know, watching my parents who were doctors, and they were very devoted to helping out people in Papua New Guinea. And so, you know, watching my parents really evoked a desire in me to also reach out and help wherever I can. And I believe that as a law student, I'm in the right position to lend a helping hand to aspiring lawyers in PNG. So I discovered that a few of my friends here had chosen the same career path as me. We all chose to do law, and we decided to build an incredible team. And we hope to combat some of the challenges that were clearly highlighted by Mr. Wagambie and Elishebba. So for now, I'd like to discuss our mission, our values, and our vision for the future. By the way, I would like to thank Elishebba for this amazing logo. It looks amazing. What I want to say is, right, our mission is we aim to connect bright law students from Papua New Guinea with the opportunities, the guidance, and the training to secure a successful career in law. And our vision for the future is to deliver inspiration and success to bright law students. Now I'd like to go on to discuss our values. At ALPNG, we stand for leadership, excellence, resilience, and respect. These are the core values that we would like to ingrain into our members. We search for members that possess leadership skills, as this demonstrates that a person has initiative, responsibility, and of course, teamwork skills. We also strive for excellence. We believe that any given task should be completed up to the highest standards and to the best of your abilities. This demonstrates dedication and ambition. We strive for resilience. This demonstrates reliability as well as individual strength by overcoming difficult challenges. And finally, I think most importantly, we stand for respect. We believe that this is an essential qualification for a successful career. Now, for our next slide, I'd like to discuss the purpose of this webinar. So for this webinar, we aim to do two things. First of all, we'd like to attract new members to recruit so you can be part of ALPNG and so you can benefit from a lot of the opportunities that we have to offer. You know, and we'd like to assist you in any way that we can. And the second thing we're aiming to do today is to attract law firms, legal institutions, and organizations to partner and to assist us because we can't do it on our own. We're going to need help. So if you're interested, please contact us. We have our email right here at aspiringlawyerspng at Gmail. Please reach out to us and we would be very glad to establish a relationship. For our next slide, we would like to, we will have Maria discussing the things that we hope to offer in the future as ALPNG.
Thank you, Laura. So good night, everyone. Once again, I'm Maria, and I would like to discuss two services that ALPNG aims to offer in the future. So we will strive to collaborate with law firms within and outside of PNG to provide, firstly, coaching and mentoring, and secondly, legal work experience. Firstly, I would like to elaborate upon the coaching services that we seek to offer at ALPNG. Coaching law students plays a key role in increasing the chances of securing a position in the legal profession. At ALPNG, we plan to organize mock interviews, CV and cover letter reviews, as well as to provide career advice from legal professionals that will be joining our virtual events. Our ultimate goal is to better prepare and to improve the employability of PNG law students for their legal career. As for our mentoring services, we will be reaching out to connect with international law firms in order to develop a mentorship program for our members. The purpose of this program is to provide mentees with assistance and insight into the legal profession. We aspire to match PNG law students with a professional mentorship team in the near future. Secondly, I would like to discuss our goals to connect PNG law students with legal work experience. At ALPNG, we hope to establish a partnership with law firms in order to provide, one, virtual internship. So this would allow students to gain legal experience in a remote professional setting. By connecting our members with virtual internships, we hope to make them more attractive in the competitive legal market. And secondly, we also aim to connect our members with vacation schemes provided by law firms within and outside of PNG, as well as to organize open days and workshops in order to gain insight into the culture of various law firms. By providing these services, we hope to train and prepare the future lawyers of Papua New Guinea. Now I will allow my colleague Bernietha to discuss the skills and development services of ALPNG. If you have any questions from my part of this presentation, I'll kindly ask for your patience. We'll have a Q&A session like Laura mentioned towards the end of our program. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Maria. Once again, my name is Bernietha, and I will be sharing with you what ALPNG hopes to have under our skills development and through our virtual events. Now, in Papua New Guinea, not all law students have the opportunities to build their skills in order to be employable in the legal job market. Under skills development, we are looking to establish a scheme that will allow our members to develop their legal skill set to equip them for their legal career. We aim to do this by providing access to aptitude tests, amongst other things, for the necessary skills in this area. Aptitude tests are a key component in the application process. They provide recruiters with an assessment of the candidate's ability to critically analyze arguments, and they also provide a psychological evaluation of how a candidate would perform under a range of hypothetical scenarios in the workplace. We're planning to provide workshops and free access under further support for the following tests: verbal reasoning tests, situational judgment tests, and logical reasoning tests, all of which in a legal environment are required skills. Now, our goal with this is to prepare and familiarize Papua New Guinean law students with the application process so that they have a higher chance of securing a position in the legal sphere. As there are already a number of free aptitude tests to be found online, we will simply be connecting our members to access these tests. And in this way, we hope to connect PNG law students with the tools to prepare for their application process. In addition to the aptitude tests, we seek to connect our members with a range of free legal certificates also found online, as there is aggressive competition amongst applicants today. It is important that candidates distinguish themselves, and we believe that by having completed a number of legal certificates, you demonstrate that you possess the skills that employers are searching for. Our committee will seek to provide support and guidance to attain various legal certificates. These will include online resources by legal professionals, such as the LexisNexis Online Legal Certification, Justice One Certification, and Westlaw Certification. And now to further expand and expose PNG law students to the knowledge of the legal industry, we also plan to host a number of virtual events These will include webinars like this one, but featuring interested graduates, trainees, and legal professionals who wish to share their expertise and experiences with us. As you can see on the slide here, there's like a photo of a webinar. Just a disclaimer, this isn't ours, but this is what we hope it would look like. And we could have we hope to have key people in the legal industry or anyone who's interested to participate in these events join us and sort of help us in this area. And now in doing this, we hope to provide career guidance, networking, and learning opportunities to PNG law students. And finally, skills development is crucial to excel in today's competitive legal industry. And at Aspiring Lawyers PNG, we hope to provide you with the tools and guidance to further develop your legal skills. That's all from my end. Now I will allow my fellow colleague Rachael to explain our future goals for ALPNG. Thank you.
Thanks, Bernietha. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Levana or Rachael, as some of you may know me. And I will now speak on the goals of ALPNG, along with scholarships, awards, and possible competitions. Our primary goal at ALPNG is to connect law students in Papua New Guinea with the opportunities, guidance, and training to secure a successful career in law. We hope to achieve this by doing the following things: collaborating with leading law firms in and out of PNG to provide mentoring and insight schemes to our members, to connect students with free online aptitude tests and online legal certifications to expand the skill set of our members' goals, just as Bernietha just mentioned, to share knowledge and increase awareness about legal and business news, to increase the exposure of the legal industry to our members, to collaborate with graduates, professors, and professionals to provide career guidance and networking opportunities, and also to prepare and assist our members with writing CVs, cover letters, and helping them prepare for interviews. Now I will speak about scholarships and awards that we hope to help our members with. At ALPNG, we also aim to keep members updated on the latest scholarship opportunities that are available to PNG law students. Our team will strive to provide any assistance that we can in order to help our members attain these scholarships. As you may have already heard, there are currently a number of scholarships available within and outside of PNG. Some of these include 1, the New Zealand Pacific Scholarships, 2, the New Zealand Regional Development Scholarships, 3, the Australia Awards, and 4, the Norton Rose Fulbright Scholarship. To provide a brief description of the scholarships, both the Australia Awards and New Zealand scholarships are not limited to the discipline of law. The scholarships are open to PNG students from a range of disciplines. Whereas the Norton Rose Fulbright PNG Legal Scholarship was created with the intention of supporting the pursuit of quality legal studies in PNG. The recipient of the scholarship is provided with ongoing support throughout the final year of undergrad study by providing up to 10,000 kina in payments and reimbursements for major costs related to their studies. The scholarship also rewards final year law students for their high academic performance, and it aims to support PNG law students who have already shown a commitment to their undergrad studies with a focus on those who may be interested in a career in commercial law. And at ALPNG, we also aim to organize some scholarships of our own, and we will be reaching out to potential sponsors in the near future. Once ALPNG has received sponsorship, we plan to organize writing contests for members in order to achieve these scholarships. Now I will pass the mic on, so to say, to my colleague Alia to explain our student-run business, which will help fund ALPNG. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Rachael. So as an organization under Enactus Kent, it's of vital importance that we develop an entrepreneurial action that can generate lucrative returns, which are then reinvested into our project. And that being said, I'd like to introduce you to Equipster, ALPNG's entrepreneurial action. So what is Equipster? It's an online peer-to-peer marketplace that allows sellers to advertise secondhand items to those who want to buy them. In the beginning, we'd like to help connect students at the University of Kent to advertise offers of any secondhand textbooks that they wish to sell. We then help these sellers get rid of their textbooks, all while making profit and allow our buyers to find cheap textbooks. A win-win for everyone. So now, how do we generate money? How do we generate income? If I could go to the next slide, please. Equipster charges a 5% advertising commission of the total price of the product. So this transaction is required in order to create an offer on our website. The entirety of the profit then made through this 5% advertising commission from Equipster will then be reinvested 100% into the AL-PNG organization. And how do we plan to grow as a business? In the future, we hope to diversify Equipster in terms of product and location. That said, we seek to integrate a wider range of products, such as electronics, into the platform, and we hope to expand across universities in the UK. The website launch date is on the 10th of September, so save the dates. And if you're interested in, if you're an interested seller or are keen to use this platform already, you can contact Equipster expressing your interest via the following email, equipsteruk@gmail.com. We will send you a notification to publish your offer once the website is launched. And if you have any questions or want further details, please do not hesitate to contact us. This would all not be possible without the help and the hard work and support of our team in Poland, that the people displayed on the slide. I'd like to express our greatest thanks to the following individuals. Please do mind my pronunciation in case it's a bit wrong. The backend developers, Wojciech Goszewski and Mikołaj Swojczynski, Albert Knehua, who was the front-end developer and project manager, and Wojciech Wyzowski, who was the web designer, and last but not least, Joanna Habowska, who was also the web designer. We thank you all for all your support. Equipster would not be what it is without you. Before we move on to our Q&A session, I'd just like to discuss recruitment. So at Enactus Kent currently, unfortunately, all the committee positions are filled up. However, we are looking to recruit 3 project members to work on AL-PNG on the University of Kent campus, as well as 3 members for our project Jura. In the AL-PNG leadership team, we are currently looking to fill the positions for logistics director, communications director, and membership director. As for the positions in the AL-PNG programs, we are looking to take on 500 maximum external members and 50 internal members. So just to clarify the difference between external members and internal members, external members only have access to our surface programs, such as virtual events, whereas internal members have access to apply for our coaching and internship mentoring schemes in the future, and for also any opportunities such as open days, workshops, etc. And so we really highly recommend and welcome PNG students to apply for both. And that being said, we thank you very much for your attention. Thank you so much for joining us and taking your time out to be part of this webinar. And we'd like to move on to the Q&A session. To answer any questions that you have, please feel free to enter your questions in the chat box below. And I'd like to pass it on to Laura and Elishebba to answer any questions. Thank you.
All right, hi guys. So we already received some questions prior to this webinar through our email, so I'd like to first answer those. Our first question was from Nathan. He asked, is it possible for PNG law students to get into a Harvard Law School for their master's or PhD program? And if this is possible, would you kindly explain the process of getting into it? So first of all, we commend you for your ambition. Yeah, we really hope you go far. Unfortunately, we're not affiliated with Harvard Law School. However, we're here to help you. And so we have done our own research to check the eligibility criteria to apply for both a master's and a PhD program. And we would love to share it with you. All right, so if you're interested in doing a master's program at Harvard, first of all, I'd just like to let you know that it's very highly competitive, but it's not impossible. So they have around 1,600 applicants and only 180 candidates get in. But however, I'm sure that if you work very hard, you can definitely get in. There's nothing stopping you. As a matter of fact, we actually had a student from the University of Papua New Guinea, which I assume you're also in, and he got into Harvard. So it's definitely possible. And yeah, I would encourage you to go for it. So let me go on to discuss the requirements. All right. So as an applicant from PNG, you're required to have an LLB degree. And for the admission criteria, the committee will take into consideration, number one, your grades, of course. Number two, your rank in your university, in regards to your students. And number three, they will look at any letters of recommendation, any occupational interests they have, professional and personal accomplishments. I would just like to note that they don't require work experience, but they do find that applicants with at least 2 years of work experience have a better sense of what they do and what they hope to achieve during the master's program. Yeah, as for the PhD, I just described the process for the master's. For the PhD, it's quite a long process. So I will send that to you by email so that we can make time for our other questions. All right, so moving on to our next question. We have Aloy. And Aloy asks, will ALPNG be able to offer internships to its members? And his second question is, are there any eligibility requirements, for instance, a minimum GPA for students who wish to become members of ALPNG? All right, so for the first question, that's probably the most common question we've asked. We've already received a bunch of students questions about our internship. So first of all, I hope that today's presentation clarified a lot of your inquiries. And I would just like to make it very clear that right now, it is our goal to collaborate with law firms within and outside of PNG to organize virtual internships to our members at ALPNG. And that's why we're reaching out here during this webinar, and we hope to make partnerships in the future. So yeah, we would really appreciate any support if there are any law firms out there or any legal professionals. And yeah, at the moment, we are at our initial stages of development, and we can only provide assistance to candidates that are currently seeking internships. So we cannot provide one at the moment. But if you are trying to get into an internship, we are more than happy to assist you. We have a big committee group, and yeah, please reach out to us if you need help. As for the second question, you asked about the eligibility criteria. And right, so we'd like to say that, yeah, ALPNG, we seek to provide opportunities for PNG law students. And with that said, we do not have any strict eligibility requirements to qualify as a member. We do, however, need our applicants to provide a CV if you want to become a member. 3 things. So 1, a CV, 2, a transcript, and 3, we need a 100-word explanation of why you're interested in law. And we just need these things to know that you're genuine, that you're genuinely interested in pursuing a career in law. I think I'll pass on the mic to Elishebba so she can answer the next few questions.
Hi, everyone. Yes, so we also have a question from Leroy. And Leroy asked, will ALPNG be able to arrange a graduate development program to introduce graduates to a more practical area of law within and abroad PNG? Currently, we do not have graduate development programs in place within ALPNG, but what we can do is direct you to existing graduate development programs that are within PNG. Now, there's actually a lot of graduate development programs out there, such as the BSP Graduate Development Program, and I'm aware that other organizations such as ExxonMobil, Oil Search, they also have their graduate development programs as well. Not necessarily specific to an area in law, but as a law student as well, you do have access to that opportunity to participate in their graduate development programs as well. And they have, they're really good as well, or so I've heard. So yeah, to answer that question. And we'll provide links as well on our website to direct you or share those posts as well from those organizations that are actually offering graduate development programs as well. And then the other question that was asked is, will ALPNG be able to help students receive support from law firms while studying? And is it possible to arrange a work placement for law students after graduate? Now, as we mentioned, it is one of our goals to seek collaboration with law firms, and then in the future to reach out to law firms and make opportunities like this possible. While it's not something that it's currently we're doing right now, but it is something that's in the process of being accomplished and being done through networking and contacting these firms. But there are ways in which there are scholarships that you can receive support as well while studying, and one of them we mentioned is the Norton Rose Fulbright Scholarship, which is an existing scholarship provided for final year law students as well. And yeah, I hope that answers your questions.
Is that all of the questions? Are those?
I think there's also another question in the chat box.
Okay. No, there's no question there. It's just a inquiry from Wave Canido for wanting to partner with us, and we thank you for that. And we do really need a lot of partners in PNG, because what we want to do as soon as possible is to get our internal members, 50 members within PNG, to be able to have mentors with professional PNG lawyers. So this will be something that we will need a big network for. So what we thought is like from our 50 members, we have 3 of them have one mentor. So that'll be about 16 mentors in total. And so that's kind of like the things that we will work towards providing to you in the next couple of weeks. And in the meantime, we will be trying to build an ALPNG to be that thing that we want it to be a hub to help support and help to PNG students who are bright and who are aspire to become a leading professional in the legal industry. And we thank you today for being in this webinar today with us to hear about from the committee member, from Laura, from everyone else, from the Enactus Kent about this amazing opportunity. And yes, and we will be happy for we will be sending you guys a Google form right after this webinar where you can submit to us your application to become an internal member and external member. For PNG students, we hope you apply for both. And thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Yes, and if there's nothing else that we want to add, anything that Mr. Wagambie wants to add, or Laura, then I think this is concludes our webinar today. And yeah, thank you again for being with us today. And conclude this this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Bye.
Bye.